a little bit for a couple people to hop on, but yeah, I appreciate you hopping on the call with me today, man.
No worries, my man. No worries. You know me. I love my real estate, so
Yeah,
I'm ready to dig down and deep, baby.
same here, man. No, I'm excited. But yeah, just to get started, you want to introduce yourself and who you are, what you do?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, What's up, everybody? I'm Mark Mason from Boston, Massachusetts. I met Kai through a networking group that I'm in. We both immediately kicked it off because we're both from New England, number one, and number two, we're both in real estate and we're hustlers. So it was a recipe for success. And I just want to hop on here and kind of give my story and to give you guys any education or anything that you guys may help you get to the next level in real estate. So I'm ready to hop into it, get into it, and see what we can do for your audience, brother.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, as always, if anyone has any questions, make sure to drop them in the comments and we'll get to them at the Q&A portion at the end. But yeah, I'm super excited. I know we had a great podcast episode when we did the ODAT one, and super excited to have you on the Real Estate Wholesale and Syndicate podcast. But yeah, man, do you want to get started with, your story, how you got started in real estate and how you got started as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, well, I like to say a big day today for us in the organization because we closed on our first road project where we're putting in 1,000-foot road and we are putting in 7 duplexes, 14 units. Should be about a $4.5 million project for us. And if you ask me if I would be doing this in 2015, not a chance. Didn't even know it existed. So, like I said earlier, I'm in real estate. I have a few businesses, and real estate allowed me to kind of build other businesses with the wealth that it helps and the resources and the resources and people that you have on your side. But essentially, we are a real estate fix and flip and development company. We have a team of 9 employees. We fix and flip between 20 and 30 homes a year and developed about the same. We started just like every one of you doing a single family home. We actually started with a Burr 3-family home, and we started from there. Next thing was a wholesale. And then once that happened, got the confidence. The most important part is that people started knowing right that I started getting into real estate, and that's when everything started coming in, and I started getting more deals once I got my name out there. And then you fast forward, I'll give you guys a short version. You fast forward, I started plumbing and just kind of getting everything in order prior to quitting all your full-time job, because real estate's really something that you can do part-time to a certain extent, and then once you hit that zone that you just can't do it, that's a good time to kind of let go of your full-time job. And that's just my opinion. You can think what you want. And now I'm running an 8-figure plumbing and HVAC company, and it's probably going to be an 8-figure real estate company next year. So I'm super excited of all the network that is brought to me and all the connections, and it ties me close to people like you, Kai.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm excited to be connected with you too. And yeah, man, I'm super motivating all the stuff you're doing. And yeah, love it, man. So how do you manage that, man? So you have multiple companies doing 8 figures, or one doing 8 and the other one getting close to it. How do you manage that? The teams, everything.
It's hard. It's fucking hard. I'll be honest with you guys. And when I first started the businesses, I didn't anticipate doing what I'm doing now. It just grew so fast. We didn't really let any opportunity go, and we really captured the right people and the right team, which led me to here today. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you managing 75 employees is easy, because I feel like that's the hardest part of the game. Is really dealing with humans and their personalities and tying it all together. It's draining. It's hard. So if that's not what you want to do, then get into real estate, because I have 9 employees doing 8 figures, or you can do 8 figures with 65 employees with home service business. So if you don't want to deal with employees, real estate's the way to go, guys. But overall, the way I really navigate it is, I just never give up. I just my nose is to the ground. I'm super focused, highly focused on what the priorities are in the businesses to get me to the next level and to free me up and to try to help minimize the problems that occur for the future. So that's really all I do right now. I'm really in that operational standpoint. I'm trying to get over it.
Mhm.
And I'm at the point where I need to bring in middle management so I can kind of focus and grow, because what got me here is not going to get me to the next level. And that's where I'm at right now. But, I got to where I am with a good team, a solid team, hard work and grit. And I think any one of you guys can do this depending on what route you go. And it's just a matter of really just hyper focusing in on what you want. And I think everything kind of lined up for me. I haven't had kids, and like I'm having my first kid soon. Everything's really lined up for me. And I took advantage of all the opportunity that I've had. And it's simple things, guys. It's like Kai had me speak at his event. Employees, imagine 60s, they have multiple things going on, but I made it a priority to better myself and to put myself in the same room as Kai and of his team. So that's little things that you have to do to get those notches on the belt.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
So are you hearing me okay? I know like you cut out for a second, so I don't know.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you good. Am I good? Am I good?
Yeah, you're good now. Yeah, I just cut out for half a second. So just want to make sure we're good. But cool. But yeah, so let's run through how did you get your first deal? A lot of people listening are brand new, just getting started, or they want to make the leap into real estate. But everyone wants to know about that first deal. So how did that work out for you?
I everything really came hard for me. It was never like I never got like that perfect, slam dunk. I usually had all the hard deals, and I feel like I still do. I bought mine at an auction. It was an online auction on howto.com. I shot my shot, didn't think I was going to get it, and I nailed it. And then the next roadblock was lending, getting pre-approved for my first time home buyers. And then the next one is passing appraisal and FHA guidelines. And I just hit everything step by step in order to get to the finish line. It was a roadblock on every aspect of that closing, but it made me who I am today.
Yeah.
So I think it could be in any direction. It could be a wholesale, it could be direct mail, it could be auction, it could be online auction, it could be in-person auction, it can be you just posting every day about you want to flip your first house on Facebook. You can really get it from any aspect. It's just I think you have to kind of be consistent on all pages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. So you got the first one. So what's it look like? I feel like a lot of people, they kind of get stuck in the spot where like that's just them or just them in a small team. And they're, the profit margins are great. And they just, they tell themselves, they want to stay small, whether they really do or not. But if you say someone, they're there and they want to get bigger, they want to have a team, they want to grow and blow it up. What's the path to get there? What advice would you give them?
I would say in order to blow up your real estate business, you really need to have the blueprint. You need to buy the blueprint. You got to find the mentor that already done it, because that's good. That's what's going to fast track you to the finish line, which you never get realistically in business or to be an entrepreneur. You really never get to that finish line. But in order to get there the fastest, you need to get in the room with the right people that have that blueprint, kind of like your blueprint. You know what I mean? Like your CRM that you have REI bought. Like those are things that you've already worked out, you've built, you worked the issues out. Now you're selling it, and you're giving that you're selling it for whatever it is, $99 or $199 a month or something like that. But that is gonna fast pace you past everybody else everybody else next to you in order to get those deals and to kind of get you on track to what you want to do.
Yeah, no, that's great advice, man. I love
You know
that.
what I mean? I don't know what your thoughts are on that, but
Yeah, no, same here. Yeah, I think just finding the blueprint and following it, if you can just model, I think anything one person did, another human being can do too. So if you're willing to copy that and do the same actions, you'll get the same results.
yeah, entrepreneurs, I feel like we love building shit. You know what I mean? But like realistically, someone's already done it, so just find it. It's gonna be a cost, but I feel like you're gonna make up that time. Like the biggest thing for us is just saving time as entrepreneurs. And if you have the time, then so be it. Build your own stuff. But at the same time, if you want to fast track, then you need to. That's what you need to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. So, man, I want to talk about that deal you mentioned in the beginning. You want to run us through that deal?
Yeah, super crazy deal, dude. So super exciting. We've been negotiating and under contract with this seller for a year, June of 2022. We got this contract. We got this under agreement originally for a development deal where we were going to build houses. Come to find out, when we get under contract to do our due diligence, we're able to put 7 duplexes. So we went from 7 homes to 14 homes, and the owner allowed us to get our building permit and wait through the process. Not only did we do that, we creative financed the deal where we organized $50,000 down at closing, and the rest of the 225 has a deferred payment for 12 months. And at 12 months, we have an interest only payment at 5%. So huge, huge deal for us. Super excited. Never done a road before. Never built 7 duplexes in a row before. And you guys are going to be in the same position, whether it's a single family home, the first one, or wholesale. So I think everything, it's the same as doing a single family home, but it's just multiplied. There's bigger numbers, So I'm going right at it. I know I got the right team. I know I got the right attitude, the right resources. But ultimately, we put this deal together with the great creative financing that we had,
Yeah, no, that's huge when you can structure the deal, and I mean, you can really.
We should be done in 12 months it shouldn't take us 12 months to build those 7 duplexes. So if everything goes well, I mean, we pretty much put up 7 duplexes. Piece of this that I didn't do. The most important, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, I cut out again.
Yeah, I gotta figure out my Wi-Fi, guys. Jeez. The biggest thing I didn't tell you guys is they gave us a soft note. What I mean by a soft note, and Cash Money Mike probably can tell you guys a little bit better about this stuff. But what I mean is soft note, they didn't put a lien on the property. So now I'm able to lean against the property with the bank. And now the bank is looking at the building permit plan saying, hey, you can have 7 duplexes on this property. We're going to give you, $800,000 for the construction of this project. So you're going to lean against the land, have no money down out of pocket for the construction of this project. And all we did is put down 50 G's.
That's crazy.
So if that kind of like put that together, it's wild. I was smiling today. I'm sitting at closing. I'm like, I'm reading the note. And I'm just like, it's so nice to get a layup sometimes.
Yeah.
Smiling, So
100%. So you're 50K out of pocket. You got creative financing. So what do you think you're going to make on the back end, which it's all said and done?
$2 million.
That's fucking wild.
Wild, guys.
Yeah, that's badass, man.
The IRS asked like 180 G's, but
that's great.
But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a $2 million project, gross profit.
Mm-hmm.
If all goes well. Do I expect everything to go well? I think so. I think I covered all my bases, but at least we got room for a little bit of error.
Mm-hmm. So how did you find this one?
Direct mail.
Mm-hmm.
Direct mail. And this guy's been sitting on this land. His father was a builder. He's been sitting on this land for years, and it was just the right time, the right place, and he trusted us.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to the finish line. So, just know that if someone doesn't sell today, doesn't mean they're not going to sell tomorrow. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind, guys.
100%. Yeah, I had a funny one yesterday. It's this guy up in Wells, Maine, that I'm working on a deal with. And guys, we're talking, I pitched him, sent the agreement, and he's like, people in New England they're real short. And he's like, guys, fuck you. I'll tell you, buddy, if I want to do it. First we sounded good. Then he's like, yeah, I'm good. I'll call you. Don't call me. And I'll tell you if I want to do something. And I'm like, all right, man, fair enough. And so I ended up, kind of dropping the ball on him. And, it's I think a month and a half ago we talked, and I just followed up with him yesterday. He said, don't follow up with him. And, but he called him. He's like, oh, I've been waiting for you to call me, man. I didn't, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to go, dude. Send it over.
One thing that, is probably we should bring up, Kai, is I was selling a home. Kind of buy. So,
you lost you again.
Yes. What I was saying is buy your guy. Your guy almost seemed like he was bipolar, but I think we always forget that selling a property is very like emotional to people.
Mhm.
Yeah, because usually it's tied to family history.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just it's very emotional. It's just big timing, like you said, just catch him at the right time. Yeah, this guy, he just had to replace the water heater, so he had another pain point. He's like, "Oh," it's just really
Yeah,
just catching them at that right time when they're pissed off enough or, it's a big enough pain point and they're ready.
damn plumbers, they're
Yeah.
expensive.
That's great, man. So I'm super excited for that deal. So how does it work building a road? Do you have to get like, a lot of permits or?
Yeah, so essentially it's all engineered now, and we just got to start building it. But there's a third party inspection company that comes in and inspects it at every aspect.
Mhm.
When the gravel's put down, and when the rough pavement's put down, when the final pavement goes in, when the lines go in, and all that good stuff. So I'm sure there's going to be some hiccups, but it's looking good on our end. It's looking
Mhm.
good. I'm excited for the challenges, and ultimately I'm excited to kind of, more importantly, get into that industry, because
Yeah.
that's like my in.
Mhm.
That's like, all right, here I am. I did that first road. I'm confident. I know what needs to happen.
Yeah, 100%. That's a great way to look at it.
You know.
So with that deal, and I want to talk a little bit more about development deals and stuff too, and just kind of like an overview of it for people. But with that deal, was that already zoned, or did you guys have to get it rezoned?
So what we did was, the zoning in my area changed recently,
Mhm.
which we capitalized on, and that's something that we've had our eyes on. Was that, we're able to get 2 to 3 units now in a place in an area that we were not supposed to get them prior to last year. So it's a huge value add, and not everybody's up on that zoning code. So that's another thing that you guys can do as a value add too. They're consistently changing these zoning laws because people need places to live, guys. So make sure that you check on those when they have those zoning changes. Look at those, because in this instance, we were able to change it from single family to 2 families each,
Mm.
which you're able to capitalize on that big time.
Yeah, that's huge. So how did you find out that change? Were you guys just keeping an eye on it, or?
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty plugged into our area, so
Mhm.
it's just we see all the changes come up and all that good stuff, and I think we just got lucky that the owner didn't know it changed,
Mhm.
which is really where we got lucky, because once he found out we were going for duplexes, it was too late for him to
Mhm.
ask for more money, because it's worth way more now, right? So
Yeah.
a duplex lot in our area is worth 200 grand.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Huge difference.
yeah, big time, big time.
So let's go over development deals. So say someone wants to like wholesale, or they have some land and they want to make money off it. Can you kind of work through it like from there's some raw and improved land, like what it looks like becoming like a development deal and.
Yeah, so development is a lot different than wholesaling a house, or fix and flipping a house, because you have all those details on the front end that you don't typically deal with when you're doing a fix and flip or a wholesale. And it's permitting, it's engineering. Well, let me rewind. It's knowing your bylaws for that
Mhm.
city or town. Once you kind of navigate that, it's having the connections of the engineers and attorneys in the town, because you're usually going for a variance, or you're trying to twist the bylaws a little bit. And then you also need to go for engineer. You have to have that engineer. You have to know that the engineer is on point and that he's up to date with all the codes, along with what he's doing in the city or town. And then you have to get it engineered, and you move on to planning, zoning, and conservation, which essentially is your zoning boards, where
Mhm.
you can go and get approved. And that means conservation wants to know that it's a certain amount of distance away from wetlands and natural heritage and wildlife. Along with planning is more of just like the linear footage of the lots, dimensions, setbacks, and all that good stuff. And then you got zoning for the variances. So to get through that process, get the approvals, that takes a lot of money and time and risk, most importantly, to get there. Like, we're into this deal right now, $120,000 without, and we just closed on it today.
Mhm.
So putting up that $120,000 to close, it's a tough put. It's a tough number to put up, guys, because nothing. It's almost like it's not guaranteed, right? But
Right.
if you know what you're doing, you need to trust the process. but it's easier. Now, if I just had these building permit plans and I put them on the MLS and sold them, it's 200 grand a lot. You know what I mean? It's 1.4 million for the land that I could get. So see how much different I paid 275 versus 1.4 million, and I'm into it for what, under 400,000. So that's what you guys got to realize, guys. And there's not as much competition on land.
Right.
So, and that's because of what I just said, the risk, the money, and the engineering, and just getting in the loop. And I believe there's coaches out there. Kai probably knows more. I'm pretty sure there's coaches out there that can help you with land. And I'm more than happy to hop on a call or help you guys out as well when you guys had some questions. But every town and city is different, but the process is the same. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't matter where you are in the nation. It's just the process is the same. It's different towns and different laws. Then you have to find and then you could put the foundation in, you can do your site work and all that good stuff. So there's so much more information and upfront work that needs to be done prior to even like putting a piece of wood in the building. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think so many people run from it and are not kind of really in tune with it, if that makes sense to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely does. So can you walk us through what that 120 went to? So is the 50K to close, was that just like surveys, wetland delineations, and getting all that done, or
the 50K?
Yeah, or the 120?
The 120 was all the engineering and permitting fees and all that stuff for the city. And then the 50K was just my down payment for the property, buying the property. So essentially, you're into it with what, 170? So that's kind of where we're at. We're at 170, but once again, we have extremely great conditions on it. We can lean against the land. It's a soft loan. There's nothing. It didn't hit my credit. It's a slam dunk, guys. Slam dunk. But I wouldn't have had that opportunity. I didn't actually know that we were going to have a soft loan until about 2 weeks ago. And that was just me really reading the room. And just what this, like, he's kind of like a cowboy. I'm like, I think we get away with this, guys. You know what I mean? So I made sure I didn't do nothing illegal, but I made sure that, it went that way. I leaned everything towards that way. And that's something that you'll do once you kind of get a little bit more experienced.
Yeah.
You can kind of stay ahead of things like that.
That's great. So how did you approach the creative conversation originally with the guy?
Via phone. Everything was via phone. Just like you do. He wasn't a big texter, although he was texting. But he wasn't a big texter. Everything was phone. Met him on site. Just an old school guy, cowboy. Rolled up the plans. This is this. Knew everything about it. He built the development next door with his family, and this was just like a site that he never developed. Went in there, and here we are.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I know, it's great. Do you want to help? Come on out and help me run it.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be coming back in October.
Nice.
I think.
Nice.
Yeah,
Make sure you call me, bro.
Yeah, we'll link up for sure. Yeah, I'll be in Lynn.
Nice.
It's not too far.
Did your grandmother ever get a kitchen done?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to follow up and ask her. I think she said she might be holding up off it. But yeah, they'll have to follow up and see if she's doing that. I know she got the bathrooms done, and then I think that was like a nightmare experience for her. So I think she's just been hesitant to do the next project.
Good.
So let's let's get into the fix and flip. So you guys still do a lot of like fix and flips. Do you write a single family?
Market. Yeah, we got 3 on one, closing on Monday and closing on Friday. So we're moving and grooving. We're moving and grooving over here, baby.
That's awesome. So what's your process look like for evaluating fix and flips, and just like a high level overview?
Yeah, just a high level overview. We have a pretty intricate process when it comes to, because I'm not really involved with every number that goes out. We try to put a little volume, but essentially we are, 0.7 ARV of the ARV, and we just minus our repairs. And I'm sure you kind of do something similar. You might be a little less because you're wholesaling it, but we kind of go 0.7, so 70% of the ARV, and that's kind of how we run our numbers. So if it's a $500,000 house, 500,000 times 0.7, minus whatever the repairs are. We don't typically put any wholesale fees or soft costs in there. That kind of
Mhm.
covers it. And sometimes if we're getting aggressive, we'll go that 0.75 or 0.8, but very rarely. Like if we go 0.8, it's more of like, hey, it's a wholesale. Like we're gonna buy this thing and we're putting it right back on the market.
Mhm.
So I don't know if how, what you think of those, but
Yeah, no, that's pretty much how we do it too. So yeah, we do 0.7, and then we just do it at our wholesale fee on top.
yeah, 100%. 100%. And right now it's tough to get property. So I'm sure your wholesale fees are kind of like going up and more people are interested, right?
Yeah, yeah, it depends on the market for sure, but yeah, it's yeah, yeah, it could be tough in certain markets for sure.
Yeah, 100%. And the Maine, you just got something on the contract in Maine, you said?
I'm still working on that one. I sent over the purchase agreement to the guy yesterday, so I got to call him again today and make sure he signs it.
Yeah, nice, nice. So I'm sure the Maine market is probably tough. Like, there's
Mhm.
probably not a lot of buyers. It's probably a little bit more um, harder to kind of get under agreement with your buyer.
Yeah, yeah, it can be. Yeah, there's just not as many like compared to Texas. Like, just not as many
Yeah.
properties either.
Well, you
So
do it national. So you doing it national, it's just tough to compile a cash buyer list, I would think,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, well, we have investor lift now, and then we have so any market. So we're only in like probably like 5 or 6 different markets, and then so like the first time it's always hard, but then after we go through it, we spend a lot of time that first time like calling up buyers and going through our process. So once we get it done the first time, it's always easier to go back the second time.
Yep.
But yeah, the first time it can be tough, and then sometimes we'll JV with people if like we can't find a buyer out there, or we know people that
Yeah.
have buyers out there.
Nice, nice. Good to know. Absolutely, yeah. Well, you find something in the water, man, please let me know, all right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just in your neck of the woods, or
Yeah, New England, Maine. I'm cool, Maine.
cool. Yeah, this one's actually right in the water. It's right on Wells Beach. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's a nice
Let me
one.
know. Let me know.
Mhm. Yeah, it's super nice. I'm excited about this one. So yeah, he's not really doing. He lives up in I think Scarborough or Portland, and
Yep.
so yeah, it's just like his rental property doesn't care about and like isn't managing it.
Beautiful.
And
I'm in.
right,
Look at that. You found your cash buyer right here.
right. That's that. You get a good deal. That's the as long as you get a good deal. I feel like most people when they struggle finding buyers, it's because it's not a good deal.
Yeah, I
They're like,
agree.
oh,
I agree. It
mhm,
has to work for everybody.
mhm.
That's business, right?
Right. Yeah, I definitely don't want to get a reputation for, one, having bad deals and sending bad deals out, or two, someone buys a deal and then, they feel screwed over. And, it's
100%.
even when you're dealing in different markets, the whole real estate community is a lot smaller than most people think. So,
Yeah, you're right. 100%
mhm,
right.
yeah.
Number one way to wealth, baby.
100%.
I'll bet on real estate all day versus stock market.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many reasons why. You want to kind of go over the reasons why you like real estate over the stock market?
Yeah, well, I just feel like I can control it.
Hmm.
You know, it's just it's controllable. And you have tangible asset. Instead of investing in other people, you're investing in yourself. You have something. You have that deed that's just like, hey, I own this. One day it might be worth 20% less. The next day it might be worth 20% more. But at the same time, I mean, at least you can ride that wave and control it a little bit and
Hmm.
rent it out. And there's just so much different avenues, and that's why I don't invest in the stock market that much. Very rarely that do I do so. I'm not saying that that's not the wrong thing to do, but um, I found my luck, and everybody I deal with found their luck in real estate. And
Hmm.
I'm sure you can talk a little bit on that. I don't know if you dig into stocks at all, but I feel like, I'd rather have 50, 100 units, than throw all that money into the stock market and hope that one president or one person or Elon doesn't tweet the wrong fucking thing and blow
Hmm.
everything apart.
Yeah. Same here. Yeah. One for me, it's might be ignorance. I don't know much about it. I just picked real estate and went on that. But for me, I
Yeah.
like you said, it's control. I like being able to control it, and you have different strategies. You get creative. There's so many different things you can do. So.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. And it's fun. It's fun.
Mhm.
Overall, I think I just enjoy it. It's nice. And you get to, like this. You can't fix anything up in stocks. You can't tell anybody. You can't talk to nobody. It's just like, all right, let me go on my phone and all right, I'm up 30 cents. I'm down 30 cents. It's just that. It's just
Mhm.
that roller coaster.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get it. Yeah, I bought like a few over the years, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, I like real estate,
Yeah, I'm with you.
but
You're freezing up a little. There you are. There
oh
you
yeah,
go.
cool.
Oh yeah.
So what else you got going on? Anything else you're excited about? Anything new, doing exciting?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm excited to build a team out. I'm
Hmm.
still building, and I'm trying to get some time back, man. I'm trying to get some time back. I'm trying to hire the right people in the right seat, and to grow this thing in order so I can work 8 hours a day. If the
Hmm.
crazy as that sounds, I'm 12, 14, 16 hours a day living on my email, and I just need to breathe a little bit. I'd rather sit back a little bit and have some time to do things like this and not feel rushed and not have to do all these different things and play the calendar fucking roller coaster game. And I just want to do what I want to do, and that's like give back and network and communicate and all that good stuff. And right now, I feel like I'm stuck in the weeds.
Hmm.
As crazy as that sounds, so I'm diligently working on putting in operations in both companies.
Hmm.
Um, I'll get there. It's just a matter of time. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that, but I think that at a point in time, that's what you have to do, and you can't stunt that growth. It's going to kill you.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, something I struggle with is building the team. So yeah, I have like we got another guy starting on Monday. Um, but yeah, I've had like yeah, no, I know everyone says you just got to go through people, but I think yeah, we definitely need to revisit our hiring processes and our onboarding processes because yeah, it's definitely a weak point of mine, and kind of struggle letting other people do things and just want to do it on myself. But it's how did you like make that shift like for like hiring people, like finding good people, and like is there certain people for your real estate business that you recommend hiring first, or
Well, I think when you said you have a hard time hiring, it made me think about something. Like, and I've made these mistakes too, and I still make them. And hiring somebody without a accountability job description, well, what they're going to do on the day to day in and
Mhm.
out. You know what I mean? So I think if you just have those things together for them, it's probably going to make your life a little bit easier, harder. I mean, if you have that together, it's going to make your life easier. What I'm trying to
Mhm.
say. Um, Sometimes, like, I think mostly we always just, hey, I'm gonna hire them. They're gonna run with me for fucking 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and I'm gonna cut them loose. And
Mhm.
I feel like not a lot of people can do it like us.
Yeah.
Business owners operate at a different caliber. So I think it's more of just like it sucks, but having those SOPs and that accountability chart and that job description that you can live by, and being organized on the back end, having your Google Drive, your OneDrive all set up nice and tight, everything organized, and just making it scalable from the start. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Is something that's going to save you a ton of time, save you in training time and all that good stuff. So that's kind of if I had to give one piece of advice, that's what I would give.
Yeah, no, that's great. So what KPIs do you think are like, say you're hiring a sales guy or an acquisitions guy, and what KPIs do you track in your business, or what do you think are the most important ones to track?
So KPIs is my it's really like it's my weak point,
Mhm.
really. Lead generation is really tough for me to kind of navigate. I'm interviewing somebody on Monday to kind of be like that KPI manager for me,
Mhm.
because I feel like I'm trying to manage both East Side and RCL Mechanical, and it's overwhelming. It's just very overwhelming. And I think we do a good job of bringing in deals and getting things done and getting stuff on the plate, but we don't do a good job measuring it, our ROI and all that stuff. So that's something down the line that is coming down. But once again, I think it's like you can't be the guy, Kai, that sends the mail out, calls the people, texts the people, does the podcast, goes and checks on things, sends out to the buyers list, dispose, does the paperwork. Like, you're probably doing a lot of those right now, but it's so
Yeah.
hard to do the training and all that other stuff and the stuff that get hot to get ready for that person that's starting on Monday, so they have a clear plate and they don't have anxiety. One thing that's really been detrimental to me is I move too fast
Mm.
for my employees. And I've noticed that really recently. It's cost me a lot of good employees and a lot of time, and at times I think it could cost me the company. So I think just moving a little bit slower,
Mhm.
because I'm more like I'm shooting at all angles like an M16, but it's just like they can't handle it. So sometimes you're just gonna pull back. If that's what I would give to anybody for advice.
Mhm. No, that's great, man. I appreciate you sharing that.
No.
Now, there are certain things you look for, like when you're interviewing them and an interview process that you can share.
Yeah. So I look for a couple things when it comes to interviewing. It's organization, task oriented, resourceful, and independent. Those are like the four things I look for.
Hmm.
Because I feel like if you have those four things, like you're naturally tech savvy, you're naturally just like gonna be a beast.
Hmm.
If you can execute, like you're gonna be successful. And those are the four things I always write down. So every interview I have, those are the four things I write down and go over. Um, and they're very like, it doesn't matter if it's office field, they kind of go hand in hand. I also give every interview, I give a core value card.
Hmm.
I give a painted vision. And that painted vision is like what my 3-year plan is from the company and them
Hmm.
coming up. And I can send that to you. If you just shoot me an email, I can send you it.
Yeah.
Um, and you can kind of look at it. It's like almost like the leadership roadmap and goals that we want in the next 3 years, which
Hmm.
whenever somebody interviews, they're like, wow, I've never had a company give me this before,
Yeah. I love that. I think
So,
it's a super cool way to do. And I think painting the vision and, kind of telling them about the future is huge. 'Cause I feel like, yeah,
yeah.
nobody really does that.
So, and like everybody that comes in look gets it, they're like, wow, never got this in my life. This is great. So,
Hmm.
um, those little things go a long way.
Yeah. Are there any like red flags or anything that like instantly like disqualify someone if you're interviewing them?
Um, I feel like you just have to trust your judgment.
Hmm.
Like, I feel like if someone's going to be a fit. I
Yeah.
think the red flag is mostly in the employer, where it's
Mm.
more of like, it's not a good fit, but
Try to
you're willing
force it.
you're trying to force it and you're trying to be
Hmm.
selfish because you're
Hmm.
like, oh fuck, I don't care. I don't care if they don't fit this criteria. They're gonna fit this, and it's gonna free up some time for me so I can breathe.
Hmm.
Um, so that's why everybody preaches about hiring prior to needing everybody. But I can see why it's so tough because not everybody's in the best cash flow standpoint.
Hmm.
So it's easy to preach that, but it's hard to do it. And
Right.
you have to be at a certain point that you can do it.
Hmm.
So I think hiring off those four things I said prior and really kind of having that roadmap set up for them with the accountability chart and the job description is going to go a long way. One thing that's really helped me too is implementing Monday.com
Mm.
to hold everybody accountable and to kind of put those meeting agendas together.
I'll have to check that out. I keep hearing about Monday, but I haven't checked it out yet.
Dude, game changer, bro. I will go through. Let's set up another call, just me and you, and I'll
Hmm.
run through my Monday for Eastside. And you're
Cool.
gonna look at it and you're gonna be like, this is great. It's more of like fix and flip and new construction development, goal oriented, but you'll see it and you'll be like, I know I can make this. I know how I can make this for my company.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
100%.
Awesome, man. So let's talk about the mailers. So you said mailers are the main thing. Do you guys send the mailers internally, or are you working with the company?
So we use Dale Machine.
Hmm.
So we use Dale Machine, and we let off the gas recently, the past 2 to 4 months, just because we have so much development in, and we kind of have just things that trickle in through word of mouth and all that good stuff. So we don't want to overwhelm everybody in the company about everything.
Hmm.
We don't want to have too much and then not be able to handle it. So, I mean, we have essentially 60 units in our backlog over the next 2.5 years to get done. So that's a lot of fucking houses to build.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to be once they get kicking, I think we'll be all right. I think we're going to be
Hmm.
like, okay, we got this. We can handle some rehabs. And right now we got 2 coming up, and doing 2 a month is kind of like where we want to be.
Hmm. Why don't you just wholesale the rest of them?
It's easy to say,
Hmm.
but it's almost a whole new business, right? So you have to have that cash buyer list. You have to have that process, which we're working on. I know me and you talked about the CRM not too long ago, and we kind of took your CRM and
Hmm.
kind of made it our own and kind of manipulated it as much as we could to get it done. And I feel good about where we're at with it. We're going to release it pretty soon and start using it. But I'm very confident in Ryan and the way he put it together. So I'm super excited. But I think I'll be a little bit more organized now
Hmm.
that we have our new CRM,
Yeah.
which will make it easy to wholesale because we're gonna have our cash buyer list in there. We can put we have forms going out now for our cash buyers. Like now we actually send a link. We can send somebody a link that wants to be a vendor,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all their information gets in, put it into high level. Then we got they sign our subcontract, and they can attach their COI and fill out the W-9 in a matter of a link,
Wow.
which takes so much time off. And yeah, I'll actually, I don't know if there's if I can put some messages in here, but I'll drop the link if I can do it so you guys can check it out. But I think that's a huge time saver for everybody, you know?
Yeah, no, that's huge. Yeah, if not, just send it to me after, and I can drop it in the
Yeah,
description.
100%.
So no, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I think even in the meantime, you guys just JV or find someone else who has buyers, or
yeah, for sure. And we're big on partnerships. JV
Mhm.
and it's great, you know. It's and if someone has the time, I'd rather JV,
Yeah,
you know, because I don't have the time. I'll bring the money and the funding, but I can bring the resources. Just having that time is tough for us.
yeah. Well, our dispo process is pretty solid and locked
Yeah,
in. So yeah, if you want to do anything, let me know.
yeah, 100%. Keep you posted, 100%.
Awesome, man. So what's next for you? I know you said you kind of paint the vision for your guys. Can you walk us through what the vision is for you, the 3-year vision?
Yeah, so for Eastside, our vision is really kind of locked down and get locked and loaded within our systems and be ready for all this new construction coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We want to add a couple people to the team and kind of sustain and go through these next 2 years and not make any crazy movements and consistently stay at those 2 fix and flips a month
Mm-hmm.
and build these 60 units. So we're super excited for that. And I think my main focus is putting someone else in my seat. That's my main focus. I have a baby on the way. She's due any hour, any day right now. So super excited about that. And I want to focus on being present with her. So I got to find someone that can help me kind of to do that.
Yeah, that's super exciting. You have a person in mind that you're grooming? You're gonna
Yeah. So we have you met Ryan. Ryan
Mhm.
Anderson is probably he's on the docket right now to do that. We've been in communication. There's just a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
Handing your whole baby over to somebody is definitely it's a tough thing to do.
Yeah, sounds scary. So
It's a tough thing to do. I'll let you know how it goes.
yeah.
Probably listening right now. What's up, Ryan?
That's too funny, man. So yeah, awesome, man. So yeah, any other advice you have for people that are brand new to starting out in real estate?
No, man. No, I think that we hit on a lot of good things. I think that if you're feeling a little defeated on finding deals, I think that you should look for land. And I think if you find the right piece of land, and you usually people that are having a hard time finding deals have a lot of time because they're looking for those deals. They might do it on the weekends, nights. They might be self-employed. They might work from home, and I think that's a perfect agenda to kind of trigger the bylaws and to get into the land deals and kind of try to like do something different. I think if you find the right piece of land for the right price, you're gonna find a builder. And if not, get everything set in stone, contact the right resources, and buy it and put that thing on the market. And builder will buy it. The thing right now with builders that a lot of them are dying out.
Really?
I feel like, especially in New England, like builders are a lot older. They're starting to come down. They're not up on technology. They're not that the new generation's coming in hot and heavy, and we're doing what we can to navigate it and to automate it and to be able to put things into play. So I think that's a great market to get into if you're feeling a little bit defeated about finding a fix and flip. And I think it's all going to come, whether you buy land first, you buy a fix and flip, or you wholesale, it's all going to come. It's just a matter of what comes first, guys.
I love that, man. That's great.
Yeah.
So, man, thank you for coming on, man. This has been great. What's the best way for people to follow you on social or get in contact with you?
Yeah, so you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, Marc Mason. Instagram is Marc Mason _MARC. Same thing on Facebook, Marc Mason. You can follow Eastside at Eastside Property LLC. You can message them, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can on anything that you need from us. If you guys need help with anything, man, just reach out. I don't mind doing deals all around the country. If you guys need help, JV, talk about land. And most importantly, if you need something, Kai, reach out.
Appreciate you, man. Well, definitely, this is a great one, man. We'll definitely have to do this again soon.